All right, it looks like Grand Arena and Turtastic with their Mistweaver Fire Mage Death Knight. Valito on Unholy Death Knight. Valito will be participating in the North American Regionals with a different roster than this. He substituted his team members as Vincent Wong forgot to level his Holy Paladin, and it would appear that Trill is unavailable to play, so it's unfortunate for Valito, but he's doing his best with his friends substituted in with an unorthodox composition.
No, I think Trill is Zez.
Is it? I thought someone said that, or did he say that it is Zez? Okay, so the Windwalker's playing Mistweaver. So
yeah, the Windwalker might playing Mistweaver, yeah. So, I think anyways, I could be wrong, but I think that's what's going on. But regardless, we'll have to see how this game goes. It's likely we're going to see SoaR charge in, try to get that Hodge onto Zez immediately. He's doing a good job line of sighting though, but Mame is able to connect on him. Jockey actually getting full polymorph there. Evangeline taking quite a bit of damage. They need to be careful getting Evangeline though. They do have that counter pressure. And Zez is going to go down. Evangeline down to 8% HP. Thankfully, he has that auto bubble to fall back on, so he's not going to die without bubbling. And yeah, Valito going to go down here. SoaR is going to take the first game, but you need to be very careful targeting down a Retribution Paladin, especially when they're just trying to do an all-in strategy like that. I didn't see what ended up finishing him off, but it might have been some of the reflective damage that Evangeline used. Maybe used equality, and it's very, very scary. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see at the beginning of the game how Zez decides to position, and if Clarity is going to play a little bit more defensive, try to stop the initial onslaught of Mame and Evangeline, but it seems like the millisecond Zez pokes his head in LOS,
Mame's it's a Frost Mage.
Over onto him. Ooh, Frosty Mage.
You got a full polymorph onto Joxy. It looks like they're going to try and go onto Evangeline for now, rooting out Mame. Valito, though, feeling the heat, already at half HP. A full fear defensively out from Mame as they make a swap over onto Zez. He's getting ready for the attack, but he's caught into that full stun. Trinkets right away, but they're just annihilating him. He miswalks away. He charges the miswalk. Life Cocoon used immediately. Zez does not want to go down the same way he went down in game number 1, but they've already chopped through that Life Cocoon entirely. Evangeline getting counter-pressured by Clarity down to 40%. Joxy needs to be careful here to keep Evangeline going. Maybe they're just trying to let him get low HP so he can use his equality. I'm not entirely sure if that might be a strategy decision for them. Joxy got interrupted on his heel. It's likely that they get the auto bubble here out from Evangeline. Apocalypse out from Valito. Not enough to force the auto bubble, unfortunately, and now Evangeline has recovered. Looks like they want to go on to Zez. Mame charges him. He ports the charge. Nice port from Zez, but Evangeline's right back onto his face. Avenging Wrath gets popped. They're looking to finish the job onto Zez into the capacitor totem, and Zez has nothing left. He rolls away. He ducks. He dodges. He dies. He weaves. He bobs. He gets away in time, and now Evangeline is getting counter pressure. Joxy caught in the sheep. Clarity getting interrupted on the repower. For now actually getting swapped to down at 30%. He blinks. He's trying to avoid the damage as much as possible. They need to survive another 5 seconds. Zez is down to 70%. Rolls away. Evangeline is playing very aggressive right now. Joxy's just unable to heal him. He keeps line of sighting him. Joxy's caught into the stun. Evangeline's down to 19%. They might just turn this around. Joxy connects the heal barely in time, and Clarity now getting turned around. He's barely avoiding the melee at 19%. Zez doing a spectacular job so far, but this might just be the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Clarity getting dangerously low. Zez as well, trying to get away, miswalks away to Clarity, creating some distance. Valito dangerously low as well as Zez using that revival, going to be topping off his team net right now, but Clarity taking so much damage. Evangeline also taking a lot of damage. Mame trying to counter pressure with his avatar, Joxy, getting caught into the polymorph. It actually breaks. I'm not sure what broke the polymorph there. Zez, though, dipping dangerously low, trying to get away. Mame on his back, using that spin, puts that Clarity into the full fear, so he's not going to be able to peel for his team at all. Zez miswalks away, or actually ports away, using that Life Cocoon on himself, but they are able to break through it immediately. Clarity trying to spam out as many polymorphs as possible, but it gets reflected by Mame. Zez still dangerously low, down to 5% HP, and Mame using the range charge to execute, able to sort of finish him off with little to no help from Evangeline. Well done by Mame there, stopping Clarity from really helping Zez with the peels by reflecting that polymorph, forcing him to ice block, and it gave him enough time to connect onto Zez and finish him off.
It looks like to be exactly the same. We'll jump into the game. Ashamane's Fall. This is a new arena in Legion. Very beautiful arena. There's actually butterflies and flowers over there. Not what you would expect for a bloodbath, but if you get bored and you want to sit in the flowers, you can go sit in the flowers. It has 3 pillars, one bigger than the other 2. I'm interested to see how that plays out strategically. It seems like if you're kiting melee, it would be better to be on that bigger one, and then if you're trying to like kite casters, the smaller one would be better because you can line of sight easier. So I would like to see Turtastic play on the left side of the map on the bigger pillar, but overall I'm not sure how much impact that'll have. I feel like it does though. I mean, with Portal, like you can line of sight from the short side to the long side and Portal back. I feel like that big pillar on the left should be where the Mistweaver wants to play.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we're going to see SoaR once again charging in, throwing out that Hodge. We know what happens next.
Well, he just walked into them.
Yeah, he walks into it.
Oh.
The Avatar does come out as well as the Avenging Wrath. Zez doesn't really have much of an opportunity to get away. Actually gets feared up there on his Aura Master. He's trying to get away. Mame reconnecting once again. The Polymorph though coming out from Clarity, going to keep him alive for now. Clarity trying to counter pressure the best he can, but Zez just having such a hard time keeping himself topped off. Eventually charging into him with his mount. Zez still just hovering around 30% HP. If Mame is able to reconnect onto him, it's going to be a nightmare situation. Clarity also taking a little bit of damage. Mame, because he can't reconnect onto Zez, wants to pressure Valido and Clarity as much as he can, but the full Hodge is going to be going out onto Zez. He does pour it away. He's doing a great job with this mobility of this game, trying to top off his team, throwing out Eventually taking a lot of damage as well. Yeah, down to around 30% HP.
Yeah, Eventually is still in trouble. Joxy's trying to counter pressure with the Counter-Strike Totem. Did a lot of Zez's HP, but that miswalk gave him a lot of distance. Eventually is down to 30%. If Turtastic can stay alive, I feel like they're actually getting good kill pressure. But a full Hex comes out, and Clarity's in so much trouble. Finally using that Ice Block down at 22% HP. Zez kiting away in this little Hex, trying to rivet his way to safety. Swapping some pressure to Valido. I would imagine they're actually going to go after Clarity again. Charge up from Mame over onto Clarity. Full stun onto Zez, the Mistweaver Monk, and this could be it for Clarity. He blinks away. He's still trying to counter pressure despite being so low on HP. Goes for the Ebon Bolt. Life Cocoon will buy him a few more seconds. Eventually down to 17%. He still does have his bubble to stay alive, so he should be able to. Full Polymorph from Joxy. Joxy trickets out. He goes for the full Hex. Lands the full Hex onto Zez. Now both healers are crowd controlled. Eventually and Clarity could be in a bit of trouble here. Ring of Peace actually coming out from Zez, and that's going to bounce the melee back. Says, ha, melee try and hit me. Just bounce back, bounce back. Interesting choice from Zez. I actually haven't seen that talent used yet.
Yeah, it's first time, yeah, like you said, we've seen that in this tournament. Clarity still taking a lot of damage, though, down to around 40% HP. The Colossus Smash comes in from Mame, as well as the Avatar. Clarity just spamming out those polymorphs, so Mame is going to get dispelled out of that. Zez caught into the Hodge. Not in any more CC for the time being. Evangeline still has his bubble up, so if he does get low, his bubble will proc onto him. Joxy, I believe, still has his trinket as well. The asphyxiate going out onto Joxy as well as a polymorph, but it does get broken, so a little bit of a misplay there by Turtastic. Joxy's not going to be put in any CC and actually lands the full Hex onto Zez. Mame getting gripped away there by Valido. Well done by him. Clarity trying to do the best he can to get as much damage as possible, throwing out those polymorphs, but just constantly under pressure. The Ring of Peace coming out from Zez once again. Mame trying to reconnect on him, but he's getting bounced out of it over and over and over. Eventually, using that Avenging Wrath, a lot of damage going to be coming out from him. Valido having to use that Anti-Magic Shell. Clarity dipping down to around 20% HP. Zez actually almost completely Joxy's mana is low as well. Eventually getting a little bit low, but he does have that bubble to fall back on. Clarity does not have an Ice Block. Down to 10% HP into that execute range. The Blood Elf silently comes out, and he is going to get finished off. Zez able to get that Life Cocoon off a little bit too late. And SoaR is going to take this series 3-0 and move on to the losers bracket.
Joxy was I feel like, I think they could play better. I feel like they could play better, and they're actually almost winning.
Yeah.
They had Joxy I mean, this obviously isn't a comp they probably practice. They probably maybe don't even play together in this specific scenario, but I feel like they could actually win that.